Hey, what's up? It's Vinnie here. Welcome to the pilot episode of Fridays with Vinnie. It's time for Fridays with Vinnie. It feels weird saying that because I'm recording this on a Wednesday. But yeah, I just, as much as I would like to capture my Friday energy and record this like on a Friday evening or Thursday evening because I work 10-hour days, so usually I get Friday off. Point being, yeah, I prefer to record ahead. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're recording ahead. So it's Friday for you guys. So happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a good week. Hope you guys made it through the work week okay. Those of you who are in school, I hope that online classes have been okay, or if you're back in school, congratulations, I guess. Anyway, yeah, it's a new podcast. What do you know about that? I'm doing a podcast again. I was thinking about it. Podcast is like the oldest thing I've done. I remember doing podcasts back when I think, first podcast I did when I was 14. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't very good. Come think of it, I'm trying to think if I've ever done a very good podcast or, very good video in general. I don't know. I'm pretty proud of some of the later stuff, but for some reason podcasts, for me anyway, it was a very niche thing. So I'd have good days and bad days. But with a podcast, I feel like you got to do it every week. You got to do it other week. Otherwise you end up like Kevin. You end up like Kevin McCreary. Nobody listens to Kevin's podcasts, right? Because you watch the inner tube for 4 years and then they're just like, we're not going to do anything for a whole year. And then we'll be like, yeah, I don't think we're doing any more inner tube. I miss that beautiful man. He's actually still around. He's been doing stuff. Those of you who don't watch him. Check out Kevin McCreary. He's been doing a lot of stuff recently. He was doing a couple live streams. He actually I think was playing some Adventures in Odyssey games that I sent him. So yeah, but he was playing the one that I've never played before. So he's like, "Oh, Vinny, I'm relying on you to help me through this." And I was like, "I haven't played this one. You're playing the wrong one. You should play the other two, the sequels." I think he's playing the first one that was made, which is the Adventures in Odyssey: The Great Escape, which is the third one, but it was the first one. I was kind of playing them in reverse when I did the videos on Homeschooled Nerd. But yeah, he's doing them in order, so I can't freaking help him. But yeah, good luck, Kevin. He did like a second stream, but I missed it, so I don't know how far he got into it, or if there's even any more into it that you can get. I don't know. But nonetheless, yeah, check out Say Goodnight, Kevin. I really enjoy his stuff. I really enjoy his podcasts. I think most people who are my audience would enjoy it. He's like edgy Christian, right? Like, I'm the one that was like, I was the pure boy for years, didn't cuss, didn't drink, didn't do any of that stuff, and then I was just like, screw it, and now I do all that stuff. I got myself a glass of Captain Morgan right here. I'm recording a podcast where maybe I'll say the F word. If I get really mad, you never know. You never know. Could I get Kevin on this podcast? I feel weird. He messaged me, actually. This was like 9 months after the end of Homeschooled Nerd. He was like, "Hey, I'm really sad that you quit your channel because I checked out your Odyssey video. It was really good." And it was like, wow, that would have been kept me motivated for an entire week working on the Homeschool Nerd channel. Being like, yes, I can do it. Kevin thinks I'm good. In hindsight, I don't regret at all ending Homeschool Nerd. Not gonna lie, I can't believe it's been over a year since I quit the channel. It actually feels like longer. Ever since I got married, time is like a weird thing, right? Where I feel like time goes really fast, but day to day it's slow as frick. Oh, you thought I was gonna say F word, didn't you? Nope, not today. Not yet. I'm still good, Christian boy. Actually, I'm not Christian. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. But yeah, Kevin messaged me and it was nice. It was a really nice message that he gave. And he was asking about the Adventures in Odyssey games because he was wanting to play them on a stream. So I ended up sending him my old ones. And yeah. Actually, I think I couldn't find my old Dimension Nazi games because I think Mom, when I moved out, she ended up throwing away a lot of old stuff that I had because I had a lot of games I got for Homeschooled Nerd. You know, some of them I played, most of them I didn't. Were like old DVDs. It's just like, what do I even do with these? Like, I got them for like maybe $5 because they're crappy Christian films. So, yeah. Homeschooled Nerd had a lot of scrapped video ideas. Some of them which I spent money on. But hey, it was all my money and I had fun. You know, that's the important thing. But yeah, I would love to get guests on this episode, on this podcast at some point. I don't know what it's going to be. Basically, idea behind this podcast, for those of you who are new to the channel, who somehow don't know me, hi, why are you checking out a podcast episode titled the pilot episode of this podcast? Why don't you start with episode 15 or 50? Make sure it's a podcast that's going to stick around for a while, why don't you? But anyway, yeah, I'm Vinny Harney here, everybody. I've done YouTube for, how long has it been? Gosh, I think my first video came out. It's coming up on 10 years, but not quite. I think it's more like 8 years at this point. But yeah, I used to do a lot of YouTube stuff. I broke into podcasting. I made websites. Then I quit different channels and different websites. Then I did a channel called Homeschooled Nerd for a long time, which most people that follow me on here know me from that. And yeah, this podcast is basically going to be an extension of the video series I did for a while, and then a live stream series I did, Fridays with Vinnie. This is the Fridays with Vinnie podcast. Welcome. This is just going to be a show where I talk. I'm not gonna have guests on very often. I might have Joe on occasionally. But you know, given our frequency of hanging out, because we both work, so most of the time when we get together, it's not on a Friday. Most of the time it's on a weekend, like Saturday or Sunday, and most of the time we're too busy, like, you know, smoking meat or, you know, playing video games just for fun to do YouTube stuff. But you never know. I really want to like get back into more projects. But every time I say that, I feel like it just ends up blown up in my face. Just like this podcast. It's, you know, it's not going to last very long, right? I hope it does. Because I really enjoy podcasting. It's something that I really enjoyed back in the day. But the only podcast that I ever have done by myself was one titled Still Not Famous. The idea of that was to be like, oh, this is me documenting my journey. It's my journey to becoming famous, whatever that means. But the problem was, it was also tied to my blog, Still Not Famous, where I did a lot of blog posts where it's like, if I do stuff like giving people advice for online content, then I'll do really well, right? But it was just like every week I had to write a blog post, and like it was really fatiguing to do the blog post and the podcast. And I was still doing like Homeschooled Nerd videos, and I think at that point I was still doing Creation Astronomy Now, maybe? I don't know. I've been doing Creation Astronomy Now for a long time during Homeschooled Nerd. I'm not I think I just kind of phased it out. And then, like, you know, a year later announced, yeah, there's no more Creation Astronomy Now. Because it was just like, I was not interested in doing that anymore. Needless to say, I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know. Creation science is just like one of those things which in hindsight, I don't know how I ever enjoyed it, because that's not what I enjoy about science. You know, what I enjoy about science is finding the answers. Not, you know, and in order to find answers, you gotta ask questions. And I feel like with Creation Astronomy stuff, I was just constantly finding ways to keep from asking questions. It's like, don't question this. Don't look into distant starlight. Don't look into, you know, the Big Bang Theory. You can't look into all this stuff. It's like, then what's the point? What's the point? You're just going to look star. Yup, that's a star. Wow, that looks like it's a long way away. Well, nope, actually God made it that way. Oh, look, that star looks like it exploded a few billion years ago. Nope, God made it that way. He made it exploded. Man, I don't. I worry sometimes that I'm turning into like an angry atheist, and I don't want to be that way. I like when I think about all the people that followed Homeschooled Nerd, and people like Kevin and the Taylor brothers from Blimey Cow, and people from the Christian community that I like, is like for the sake of those people who I'm a fan of and who I love as people, then I don't want to just devolve into angry spewing online. But at the same time, I don't want to censor myself. I don't want to just sit around and be like, don't say anything that'll offend people. It's just like I feel like you get it on both sides, right? Like you got the liberals being like, don't say these words, don't do these things. And then you got the Christians being like, Little Nas made shoes for the devil. Little Nas has butt. He got some booty. I still haven't seen that video. I feel like I need to check it out because I don't want to comment on social commentary, like, just randomly, and then people be like, actually, Vinnie, he wasn't talking about that. He was talking about sucking Satan's cock. And I'm like, oh no, I endorse Lil Nas sucking Satan off. And they're like, oh, you messed up. But yeah, Lil Nas, he's really been doing some stuff apparently. Made a few people real upset. But the question is, how many people were actually upset? That's what I want to know. Most like Christians that I know outside of the church circles I went to, because I exist in the Bible Belt. I know that. I'm in South Dakota now, and I was in Illinois before. Neither of those are technically the Bible Belt, but I sure felt like it. So that you kind of are there for a while, and once you're out, you think that like everyone thinks that way. But like most Christians that I've seen that I follow online, like what I was mentioning, like Say Goodnight Kevin, or Chris, whose last name I can't remember, but he's yours truly, Chris. That's the only name I can associate him with. He does YouTube stuff. But people like that, Kyle Barber. He's a great TikToker and YouTuber, though he doesn't do much YouTube these days. Yeah, people like him are, they're religious, but like, they don't get upset about stuff as much. And I feel like that's the way you need to be. It's like, yeah, gay people exist. They get married. Sometimes they have sex. Get over it. But like with Lil Nas, it's just like I don't care. I don't endorse it necessarily, but like it's not like he did anything wrong. He just made a music video and he, partnered with a company to make some shoes for a bunch of money. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that same company did a Jesus shoe a few years ago. I didn't see anybody freaking out. I didn't see the atheist community being like, oh, they're taking Nike shoes and making it look like Nike supports Christianity. No one cares. No one cares. There is an argument to be made about separation of church and state, but a private company can do whatever they want. Nike didn't even have anything to do with either of these shoes. But yeah, they're just getting involved now because Lil Nas went viral and the Jesus shoe from a few years ago didn't. I want to know about that. Like, can I look it up, or will I just find like response stuff like, we made Jesus shoes to counteract. We put Chick-fil-A sauce in there because nothing's more Christian than gay hating homophobes. It's Jesus walk on water shoes. Here we go. Well, these are bland as oh yeah. They got the holy water in them from the Jordan River or whatever. Yeah. How much do they sell these for? $3,000. You guys are ticked off at Lil Nas. How long ago were these from? Can I find out? It's so hard to find out when stuff happened on the internet. Like, nothing's dated. Here we go. Nike Jesus shoes. This is an unboxing. Let's see if this was released July 4th, 2020. Okay, so it was earlier last year. Oh my gosh. People in the comments are so weird. Everyone who came here had to sing Satan's shoes to look for Jesus. This was God's plan. Accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. He's the only way into heaven. Well, not according to Islam. Not according to the Buddha. According to the Buddha, there is no heaven. You just reach nirvana. What do you think about that? Not according to the Mormons. Mormons is Jesus and Joseph Smith, right? I think. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Point is, yeah, I don't see any atheists in the comments being like, this is sinful to charge this much for shoes. It's like, no. People are gonna buy them, and it's their money that's going away. What else has been happening this week? I feel like nothing's happened this week, but I'm sure stuff has. Has Biden done anything? I don't feel like he's done anything really. Not recently anyway. I mean, he did some drone strikes or whatever. Typical president stuff, back to business. Let's blow stuff up. He didn't say anything about the border crisis. He was just like, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll take care of it eventually. I swear to G, if we get another term of Trump after Biden, it's going to be so weird. It's not like it's the first time it's happened. We've had presidents come back and have like a second term after somebody else. But it's just like, is this really going to be a back and forth thing? Like, we have a Republican who's like awful, and then they're like, we got to get a Democrat in there, and then they do nothing. And then they're like, we got to get a Republican in there. They get a Republican, they do nothing. Then we get a terrible Democrat, and so we get a bad Republican. It's like, geez, can we get, I don't know, maybe, could we just get a normal politician? Maybe. I don't want that, though. I don't want a normal politician. But also, I'm tired of the drama. I'm tired. It's like, I don't want a super religious man, but I also don't want, it's not like I want somebody who's going to, like, attack every single religious institute that comes up because he's upset about stuff. But also, that'd be cool. Like, personally, I would enjoy that. But I don't want that for the sake of, like, my beliefs about the importance of First Amendment rights and the rights to free speech. But also, like, that's the thing, right? I'm a bit of a Bernie Sanders supporter. That was like a recent thing. I wasn't a Bernie Sanders supporter before 2020. But kind of 2020 ended up radicalizing me in the sense of, like, seeing all the police brutality and people just did not care whatsoever. Seeing all of that, and then, seeing all the junk that Trump did, and everyone was just like, yeah, but he's our man, so you gotta stand by your man. It's just like, what does he gotta do to make you not support him? But then again, maybe I'm gonna end up being hypocritical. Like, maybe Biden's gonna do a lot of junk, and I'll be the one being like, Trump wouldn't have been any better. I don't want to be that either, right? Like, I want to be me. I want to have my own opinions and not support a politician for the name. But I don't know. It's just Bernie Sanders has a long history of, like, standing up to power. He was, he's the guy who defended homosexuality before Obama decided it was cool. He was the guy that has been trying to fight against racial segregation back in the day, and now he's fighting for wealth equality. And it's like, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I understand why people are afraid of some of his ideas, but at the same time, y'all are whack. Like, you really think the same Reaganomics garbage is gonna work after, it's like, it hasn't worked for for the past 30 years. It's made everything worse. Statistically speaking, at least. You could be like, oh, what would be that bad anyway? But you can never know. It's unfalsifiable. It's the worst kind of thing. I hate that so much. Like, you always hear, well, but you can't disprove that Reaganomics did not make it worse or better. And it's like, yeah, I can't disprove something when I only have one outcome to look at. I can make a calculated guess. I can look at the facts and say what I think happened. But, like, there's always a loophole, right? Like, there's always a way of looking at things differently. Like, there's always somebody else to blame, You can just be like, well, actually, it was the Democrats that caused the wealth inequality. They're the reason that unemployment is at a record high. They're the reason that, minimum wage is nothing. And they're the reason that, you see people working $7.25 an hour, working 2 jobs. And then, and I can't, that's the thing, right? It's like, I think I do the same thing and I don't like it. I don't know. I always go to the extra effort to specify that, like, I don't have a super strong opinion yet. I have some strong opinions, but I always try to present them in ways that are, like, pretty laid back, not too crazy. I don't want to be out here like, this is what we need to do. I just think we need to do something. I don't think what we've been doing is working. It's my thing. I don't think that the whole Reaganomics thing, I don't think the whole trickle-down economics, I don't think this whole religious nationalism is getting us anywhere. But at the same time, what do you do? Like, how do you explain to people that are super religious, hey, I think your religion is actually hurting us. I think it's the opposite of what we need. It's like, what? No, you need Jesus. It's like, some people don't believe this. It's like, yeah, because they're stupid and wrong, and they're gonna go to hell. All right, okay, whatever, man. Maybe there's nothing you can do about it, because, like, it's not like there's a shortage of religious beliefs or religious people. I think we're gonna see a bit of a shift. Right? Like, I think like right-wing Christianity is going to get a bit of a comeback. Like, it's not that it got any good ideas into it. It's just that the people are feeling disenfranchised. They're getting scared. And when people get scared, they get violent. And they get loud. And they attract more people who feel disenfranchised. Like, hey, we're birds of a feather because we also feel like the government hasn't been listening to us. And so you get all these white supremacist Nazi people, being like, well, we don't think that the Christians are quite racist enough, but, at least we stand for the same thing, theoretically. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. And then, of course, something I was thinking about today is like, Buddhism. I feel like Buddhism is really popular among millennials, but it's like almost a self-serving Buddhism. For the record, I study a bit of Buddhism recently because I thought the philosophy was interesting, which I still stand by it. It is a very interesting philosophy, a very pragmatic approach to religious belief, and it's if there was a religion that I could choose to be true, I think I would choose Buddhism. But at the same time, there's a lot of, like, reincarnation stuff. And I remember reading a book on it. It was by some Buddhist monk, and it was like had an introduction by the Dalai Lama. But like they were saying, like, just because science may show this stuff, but it can't disprove that reincarnation exists. And it's just like, okay, this is the same stuff that I was dealing with back with the creation science people. It's like, yeah, it's unfalsifiable. Can't disprove that you don't reincarnate as a bird when you die, or you don't have 5 life cycles before you reach nirvana. I can't disprove that. It just it seems like a weird belief to draw out of nowhere. Top of that, I'm pretty sure the Buddha, he borrowed that from the religion of the land, right? Because if I remember correctly, what's the other Indian, like the generic Indian religion is called? Hinduism. Hinduism, I believe, is the kind that believes reincarnation can be between animals. It's based on karma. Yada. Buddhism is more like, it's almost, from what I understand anyway, karma plays into it, but I don't think you reincarnate as an animal. You just reincarnate as a human being in worse or better conditions. Which one could argue, like, you'd reach nirvana faster in a worse condition, right? Because, like, the whole point of Buddhism is, like, you know, to let go of personal attachments. You can't exactly have personal attachments if you ain't got no belongings, right? Right? I'm sure you guys are enjoying me giving Buddhism the good old logic check. Like, but why would good karma put you in a position where you're less likely to reach nirvana? Because you're rich and you have plenty of money and you don't have to worry about stuff. I mean, you do still, probably. I don't know. I've never had plenty of money. I'll let you guys know when I'm rich and famous. Just like, well, guys, I made it. I'm rich. And I decided that minimum wage actually should be lowered. You know, I've just been enlightened by my wealth. I think that we should tax the lower class, actually. Like people in poverty, I think we should raise their taxes. I think they're the ones that need taxed. They'll appreciate it once they climb their way out of poverty, take themselves up by their bootstraps. Once they get out of poverty, they'll realize, oh, yeah, he was right. We can do this. And then they'll turn around and make it harder for the other people still in poverty. But the point of it is that we all work ourselves. Oh. Gosh. I haven't talked this long in a while. Don't get me wrong. I've done live streams before, but usually you got like some filler in there. You know, you'll have like, I'm playing a game, so I'm not talking for several minutes. I also try to make a point to keep water with me, but I do not have any right now. Am I going to get Jesus shoes recommendations because I opened up a video of Jesus shoes? Why? Alright, my voice is starting to mess up, so let's move on to a few segments. Segments, everybody! So one of the main reasons I wanted to start this podcast was to keep track of progress on my album. Yay! My goal is to release it in fall. I don't want to announce the date I've picked out yet, though, because I might not make it. I'm giving myself a deadline, because I think I'll have a deadline. Maybe I'll work harder. But anyway, it's a 10-track EP. And I've recorded all demos, is like what I did first to like get an idea of all the songs. That's been done for a while. I do have the album's not producer but sound engineer. I need to get stuff finished up with him so I can start sending him files so he can start working on it while I'm finishing up recording. But I want to finish up recording as well. Oh no. Yeah. So yeah, basically I just like then record draft versions, and now I'm going back through and getting rid of them. Something I started doing is like I have them on my phone, so I have all the current versions of all the songs on my phone, and then I'll go through and I'll listen to them, and I'll listen through and be like, wow, some of these suck. The annoying thing is, like, on certain days, like, depending on my mood, I'll like, dislike certain songs, or then other days I'll like them. Like, I was listening to the most recent one that I went through and re-recorded. I really like how it turned out. But the other day I listened to it, and I was like, that sounds awful. And I listened to it, the next day, and I was like, that sounds good. So am I just not hearing stuff? That could be it, right? like I think maybe I need to like, sit on my computer where I can see the sound files. Just open Audition, which is what I'm recording in. It's not the best, but it works for now. Next album, I'll get a better software. But yeah, I'm working my way backwards through it. So I've got the last 2 songs done. So I got 8 more to go through. Yeah. The next one I gotta do is all from scratch, so it's gonna take a little bit longer to get it finished up. But yeah, I bought myself a drum machine too, which is very helpful for programming beats, because that way I can have a nice moderate tempo, and then afterwards I'll figure out what to do with the drum beat. I'm not sure. A couple of songs I ended up being like, I don't need drums in these. Let's be creative. Let's create pop songs with no drums. See how you like that? See how you like that, Britney Spears? I don't even think that... Does she do stuff anymore? Didn't her dad, like, take over her life? And so now there's, like, a Netflix special. Gosh. Britney Spears just cannot seem to catch a break. Between, like, people lusting over and be like, only this many days until she's 18 and we can jack off with a good, clean conscience. And now there's people trying to, speculate about her relationship with her dad and, like, whether or not she wanted this. I'm not saying they're wrong. They're probably right. Would not surprise me if a parent was controlling of their famous child. I know for sure that, like, I'm sure Michael Jackson didn't have great experience with his family. I guess I shouldn't say I know for sure. It's a big problem. It's a probability. I don't know. I don't freaking know. I keep catching myself saying things that I don't actually mean. This is why I need the podcast. This is why I need to do the podcast. Just get good at saying things and then, realizing when I need to cover my ass. Make sure that I don't, trap myself with my own words. But yeah, it's nice to not have a filter every now and then, because if you know me, you know that I constantly have a filter on. If I'm in, like, real life, where I'm just like, somebody will say something and I'll be like instantly diagnose, how well do I know this person? Could I say, this thing, or should I say something nice? Should I just smile and nod? What should I do? Oh no, it's so stressful. I gotta not say words. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to add about the album. I've picked out singles, so I think we're good on that. I've got like a deadline thing on CD. Let me open it back up again. What was it called? Release planner. Here we go. Release planner. Your release plan generator. Do you have a release ready? No. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me see my key dates. April. Wait, no. Hang on. I messed up. Okay. Why is it? I don't have it ready, but like, okay. Put in the date and let's see what we need to do. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. What's the, is this all in order? I guess it is. When do I need to have my tracks done? That's what I want to know. Okay, here we go. Distribution setup. Music finished and mastered by July 8th. Can I do that? How many months is that? April, May, June, July. That's beginning of July. So that's 3 months. Basically. Yeah. Basically, literally 3 months from tomorrow, I guess. So, yeah, I don't know. Guys. I might be getting a little optimistic about this. But yeah, that's this week's update on Vinnie's new album. What else? More segments. Let's move on to pop culture recommendations. I'm gonna try to do one of everything. That might be a little too much. But anyway, we'll start with the movie. I watched Spaceballs for the first time the other day. It's a good movie. I've seen clips of it, obviously, but like, yeah, Mel Brooks is just a one of a kind director. And Spaceballs is just one of his best ones. So yeah, if you want a good movie, check out Spaceballs. I also watched Star Wars, the original trilogy, for the first time a few weeks ago, and it was surprisingly good. I mean, it wasn't like, here's the deal. Back when I used to watch movies and review them on YouTube, I was constantly like psychoanalyzing stuff and being like, is this really good? Is it really good? But now it's just like, did I have fun? Yes. Okay, it was good then. Versus like, obviously with Star Wars, something kept me watching it for a long time was just like, people's enjoyment of something definitely creeps in, right? Like when there's a fan base and you see Star Wars long before you ever get to see it, it's just like you try to watch the movies and you constantly reminded of the fan base. But fortunately, I'm removed enough from that it didn't really get in my way, right? Like I wasn't here thinking about like, oh, people think that the second one's the best and the third one sucks. I thought they were all great. I personally, I would agree the second one was the best one. But, third one was fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. I'm getting off topic. The recommendation was Spaceballs, but I watched Spaceballs because I just watched Star Wars, and it made me want to watch Spaceballs, so I did. And the story. All right. Tell you TV show as well. The Good Place. It's a good show. It's a good, fun show. Is it great? I've heard some people complain it's not written very well. I don't care. I thought it was fun. I had fun. I like bisexual characters in TV shows, especially when it's just like a subtle theme of the character, but it's definitely there. Cause like there definitely is bi erasure, right? Like that's a thing. Like he's like, you're either gay or straight. What's wrong with you? You like both? No, you got to choose. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You can be attracted to both. It's easy. I've seen Breath of the Wild Link. Guy's hot as frick. All right. I don't know if I'll do a TV show every week. I don't watch that much TV shows. I've been watching a movie a week. My goal is to get through this bucket list, which is like a bunch of classic movies. Books. Should I recommend a book? What do I want to recommend for a book? Oh, I don't want to recommend something offensive. Let's go something that I've finished so I know it's good. Okay. I'm going to recommend Not Dead Yet. It is a autobiography of Phil Collins. I thought it was a great book. If you enjoy Phil Collins' music, or the music of Genesis, or if you enjoyed Tarzan, the film, then you will enjoy this book. If not, maybe you'll enjoy it anyway. I don't know. I think Phil Collins is an interesting character, and I think his story of his life is fascinating. And yeah, I have become a huge fan of his music since, which is why this week's music recommendation is not going to be No Jacket Required by Phil Collins. It is going to be A Single Man by Elton John, the album. I've been working through some of the Elton John albums that I've missed, and this is one of them. So yeah, it's surprisingly good. I believe this was the period where he was like starting to phase out of like popularity, so it didn't have a lot of number one hits from it. But it's still a really good album, I think, and it has a Song for a Guy, which is one of my favorite Elton John songs. And yeah, I don't really have anything to add. Just listen to it. Listen to it. If you like it, cool. If not, sorry. I apologize. I could go on for hours with music recommendations. Literally. Like, I could just read them all off and be like, oh, this is a good one. If I'm ever short recommendation, I'll just do 3 albums. Let's see here. Okay, last segment. We're gonna do a segment from one of my favorite podcasts, which is Late Night with Brian Weck. It's a great podcast. I recommend it. Oh, should I do a podcast recommendation? That one. Go check out Late Night with Brian Weck. They just did an episode where Brian smoked some weed, ingested some marijuana. It was just a fun episode. And yeah, check out that podcast. But anyway, the segment is going to be peaches and lemons. I like the way they do it because it's a low and 3 highs, or, a lemon and 3 peaches. So let's do that. I gotta choose a lemon. I feel like there's enough pettiness that I could choose from, but also like there's like legitimate sad sack stuff I could pick from. Yeah, let's just let's go with I'm frustrated I haven't finished my album yet. It sucks. I was supposed to finish it last year and I still haven't finished it, and it's making me frustrated. Sometimes I hate myself. So that's my lemon. 3 peaches. Here we go. 3 good things. Okay. I think number 1 is gonna be my boy, Silas. He started doing this thing where when I get home from work, he always has to look to see where I am, and like he's always excited to see me, and he always wants to be held. He always wants me to take him as soon as I get home, which is really sweet. Sometimes it's a pain because I'm dirty. I want to get washed off, but he's there. He wants attention. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. I got stuff to do. But yeah, he's adorable. Oh my gosh. Like, I've always loved kids. So having a kid was not a surprise with how much I love them. I think like the more surprise is that I'm like, oh, being a parent sucks. Like, it's just constant, and it doesn't get better. It gets worse. They get more demanding, and they need more as they get older. It doesn't get easier once they start sleeping through the night. You just feel slightly less fatigued, but still fatigued, cause he's still demanding. What else? Come on, you gotta pick 3 peaches. You gotta do 3 positives. You gotta think happy thoughts. Okay, here's one. My accordion, which I thought was broken. I got out and I was able to get it to work. So maybe I probably can't perform with it necessarily. Maybe I could do like 1 song in a show with it without it messing up. Basically, the pads are worn out, so it leaks air and plays wrong notes. But last time I got it out, I did a bit of stuff for one of the songs, and it worked fine. And I really like accordion. I love accordion. It's one of my favorite instruments, and I wish my accordion I could get it fixed all the way. But the happy thing is that it's working. It's working. Page number 3. We did it, boys. We recorded the first episode of Fridays with Vinnie, the Fridays with Vinnie podcast. I hope you guys have a good Friday. I hope you guys have a good weekend. And, yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys next Friday with another episode. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit notifications, because it does help you see what I'm doing. You will get notifications for the live streams that way, and so you'll know when I'm going live. I hope to be able to do more live streams. I've been trying real hard, but I also want to finish the album, and I've been working overtime. Gosh dang it, I think I'm going to have to work Friday. Normally I don't have to work Friday, but this week and last week and a couple weeks before that, I've been having to work overtime on Fridays. So, it's not as bad as it could be. It's just frustrating when I'd much rather be finishing up work on the album, doing live streams, getting back into YouTube. We're going to do YouTube again. I got a list of videos. I'm like, okay, do these videos. But you know me, Mr. Procrastinator, Mr. Too Tired to Do Anything. Mr. Sleepy Sheepy. All right, boys. Anyway, my voice is completely gone. My throat is dry. I don't have any water here. So I'm going to end the podcast right here. Thank you guys for joining me for this first episode. Lord willing, I will see you guys next Friday. Later on, I think I'm going to get the podcast on, iTunes, Spotify, everywhere else. But I got to figure out how to first. So I'm going to just release the first few episodes on YouTube. And after a while, if I get past 10 episodes, then I'll start paying for distribution and for hosting to get it onto Spotify and whatnot. Anyway, thank you for joining me. And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. I love you. Love yourselves. I'll see you guys either next Friday, next video, next stream, wherever you see me next. Bye-bye.